It's Krazy Karl again, and I'm back with the 150. I'm going to do stabilizer bar ends. The ones on it, the bushings are all gone off the stabilizer bar. That's one way to unload tools. And I got a new set with all new bushings, and I'll replace that, and that should make it steer a little better, or at least handle a little better. And should take care of really the only thing I've seen wrong with it that's not besides dry rotted tires and little cosmetic things. So I'll start getting stuff ready.
So before we begin showing you exactly what Carl's doing here, just want to point out that the wheel is chocked, and if we had a parking brake that worked, the parking brake would be pulled. But since we don't, it's kind of still in gear. After all, crazy does not necessarily mean stupid. So, impact drill?
If I had one. That works.
Well, that's what you wanted.
It's off. Good thing I don't have to reuse these. Any port in a storm. Okay, that hasn't had rubber in a long time. That should be that thickness, not that thickness.
Yeah, go grab that other piece of rubber that's behind you here, and let's compare it with the new one, because I'm still a little confused.
This is they actually originally had a plastic spacer. These use metal. So that's all cracked. That's all worn out.
And what does that spacer do?
That creates a gap to hold this bar at the height it should be.
Okay, so the bar can't bend up and smack things.
Yeah, it shouldn't be going up and down more than what the rubber will allow.
Okay.
So it's not supposed to have near that much movement. This thing hasn't had the stability bar working in a long time.
And that's what keeps your truck from shaking?
It helps keep the steering from having as much slop. What it does is it helps reinforce the connection between this wheel and that wheel, so that you have more stable steering.
Okay, so it's like when you turn the wheel turns. It's not like this whole huge gap of nothing.
Yeah, it gives you a better, well, lack of a better term, it gives you better feel for when you're driving.
Okay, so you're not driving like an 80s car where you're like turning left and right and the car's not going anywhere.
Yeah, it's a big improvement over some of the old. It's a little less like an old school bus. Which I didn't realize that was bad, because it actually felt pretty decent compared to some of the stuff I've driven that don't even have these. You got some vehicles that have a stabilizer shock. This one doesn't. But it actually goes between this, and they'll have those. Made in USA.
Hey, for a change.
Yep. I got American-made ones. I saw them available, so I got them.
I'm not trusting Chinese parts much these days.
Not a whole lot. Okay.
Like, some of those companies feel like they have more children than adults working for them. If you catch my drift.
Yeah. Well, you only get so much quality out of slave labor anyways.
True.
Finagling. I may have to straighten out the wheel. These these.
Any special Loctite or anything on this time?
I'm not actually planning on using any on this. You could use Loctite. That probably would not be a bad idea. But from what I've seen of these things, they're normally so rusted on after a while that it doesn't really matter. Alright. Yep. Wheel's going to have to be straightened up for me to get that back on.
Okay.
And get it in far enough that the bolt will catch this.
So you're looking like you're having a lot of fun down there.
Oh yeah. It won't seat enough so I can get it with the rubber, bottom rubber. So I'm having to try to tighten it. This bolt, this nut does not want to feed.
Well, we had joy. We had fun. We had copyrighted lyrics we could not sing. You doing the old screw the nut from the top and hold the bolt on the bottom and hoping it catches trick?
Yeah, well, wondering why it's not wanting to feed up good. Neither one does. It starts fine. Now nut's coming back off because I've compressed it, hopefully enough that I can get a washer on it. And then I can finish tightening it down. And I really should look to see if it gave me the torque level. And I need to get the torque wrench to finish this. I doubt it actually gave me that.
I mean, torque, that's just yank the hell out of it, right?
Yeah, but
Yanking
potentially, but if you do that, you could wow, that's hot. You can over compress these rubber and it won't perform like it's supposed to.
So that's why you're supposed to care about torque ratings, huh?
Yeah. You can end up doing a lot of damage if you overdo it.
What if you underdo it?
You underdo it and fall apart.
What if you just right do it?
Huh?
What if you just right do it?
And it's perfect. I know it's not right until it's at least set in the holes, which I know they're probably a little bigger than they originally were, but
You got some squished rubber down here.
yeah. I probably have over tightened this a little bit, but I'm going to leave it because these holes are a little watered out and that squished the rubber together so that it's not moving around inside of it. So,
and that's why you should replace these things when they get worn out, not instead of just driving on them and say screw it.
yeah, these probably need replaced 100,000 miles ago.
Yeah, because otherwise it'll wear holes and things.
But this is not going anywhere, I can tell you that.
Well, that's all we can hope for.
And now do the other side. Well, you missed we turned the tires and it ate the big wrench. I got it out from underneath the tire. But turn the wheels out so they're easier to access. This would be a lot easier if I wasn't a giant. And I don't know what that plug's for. Everything works, so I do not know what that plug's for, but it goes to the lights. I'm guessing it's for fog lights.
That you don't have space for in your bumper?
Yeah, but don't mean they didn't have it in the wiring harness. Because it's just hanging down with the rest of the wiring harness, which I'm going to put back up where it looks like it belongs. And get it from hanging down. But I'm guessing that they just put it in the wiring harness since it was an option.
Or somebody replaced the wiring harness and said, screw it.
If they replaced the wiring harness, they must have pulled it out of an older truck. It does not look new enough to be replaced. Okay, 5/8. And now I need the 14 millimeter or 15? It was 15.
15.
Go away, 14. Tightening it or loosening it?
Lefty loosey, righty tighty.
Right that way. It's left that way though.
Lefty loosey, righty tighty. That's all I can tell you. Or
either way, it's off now.
That's one way to do it.
This one still had rubber. Kind of.
Impact drill?
Maybe. I can get this off. Okay. And I'll see if I can ever get the socket back. Oh, don't worry about that. I'll get it.
It ain't coming off.
Remember, wrenches aren't hammers. But when you don't have a hammer, just get a big wrench.
So to answer your question, no, you were not loosening it.
Yeah, it did. It's off, isn't it?
Well, yes.
Technicalities. Boy, I brought a flash screwdriver. I'll just finish breaking this plastic. Quick, simple job.
With you, that is always famous last words.
Me, it only means it was something that should have took a long time. And somehow it didn't. Which is scary. Then you spend your whole time trying to figure out, what didn't you do in the project? Why did it go fast?
Well, if it goes faster than normal, that means you can relax, right?
I guess so. I'll let you know when it happens.
And if that came at the cost of safety, I mean, yeah.
Well, safety is one of those things. If you'll survive the incident, that's safe, isn't it?
Yeah, but what level of survival are we talking about? Are we talking about surviving whole intact, or
you can drive away or walk away
with all 10 fingers and all 10 toes?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Ken, then maybe we need to be more conscious of safety, I guess.
It's a matter of it's like with pilots. Any landing that you can fly away from,
Walk away.
it's a good one. No, fly away from. It's a good one because you can take off again. Anyone you can walk away from was a success. Okay, let's try this a different way.
Which reminds me, can't you wait to get started on that Jeep Cherokee?
Electrifying the Cherokee and the Gladiator, getting it running. Oh boy. Actually, I think it will probably be easier to get to start than it should be. Keeping it running might be another matter.
Like Gladiator?
Yeah. Because I think I got what I have to get it to run again. Whether it's drivable is another matter, but I don't know if it won't be burning a gallon of oil per gallon of gas at that point. It's off. See? I knew I'd get it.
I'll handle the hard stuff.
Quit attacking me! Where did you go? Where is it?
By your foot. No, I'm not helping you.
Here, you can be attacked by it then.
I'm not the one who insulted it. There you are.
Sore loser. Now there's junk in my arm.
This is not the way that is supposed to look.
How did he get stuff up my sleeve?
I don't know. What did you do?
It had all kinds of junk that came out of it. And when the junk came out, it went up my sleeve, and that thing attacked me, and did all kinds of stuff. It was vengeful.
Yes. Sure this ain't the truck from Carrie or something? Christine?
Well, then it would be happy because I'm taking care of it.
Yeah, but you'd also be finding body parts in the engine.
Well, it's not a Mustang.
Ba-dum-bum.
Let's see, I may end up having to get you to turn this one again. That's why I had you turn the other one. That crossbar gets in the way. Don't know yet. It may work out.
So as we were saying, the sway bar, it doesn't help with the dead space in the steering. It helps with the what now?
Okay, what it does is it keeps this wheel, each wheel is independently suspended. It keeps the suspension linked. That way you don't, it helps keep, if you hit a bump while you're turning, it will help keep the wheel that hits the bump on the ground.
Okay.
Is about the best way I can describe it. Guess what I have to do?
You gotta push it back out?
Yep.
Oh, Lord. Alrighty. There's one right there.
One up, one down. Just keep telling yourself, doing it yourself is rewarding. Doing it yourself is rewarding.
Doing it yourself is cheaper. Doing it yourself is cheaper.
That's even better motivation.
Because my do-it-yourself projects are rarely ever rewarding, and it usually requires me to do them 3 times. So I'd rather watch you.
Get in there. You in there? Over a little bit more. There we go. Okay. Now we'll do this again.
Gracious, bless my soul, the right key, baby, but the wrong key. There it goes.
There we go.
There we go. Hallelujah chorus, please.
Where's the nut? Besides me, the other nut.
Sometimes feel like a nut.
I have to figure out where it went. check all your pockets moment.
This is also a reason why it's a good idea to keep a bucket of bolts nearby.
Aha! It ran for it. Eagle eyes.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Don't you hate it when parts run away? I know it's going on a Ford, but you know, it could be worse.
I'm gonna get you a Mustang.
I'm working on how it could be worse, but it could be worse.
I'm getting you a Mustang one day. It's gonna happen. That'll be a thing that happens.
You know, actually what I want, if you get me a Mustang, give me one of the little 4-cylinder ones. The joke ones.
What, the one that's with the turbo on them?
No, the unturboed one.
No.
The one that was, you get outrun by a go-kart.
No.
Big time.
I mean, for you that would be safer, but no.
I could probably make it faster by putting a turbocharged 2-cylinder Briggs & Stratton on it.
I don't even know if that's a thing.
We'll make it a thing.
That discussion is to be continued.
See? Easy job. Did I put the washer on? I did put the washer on.
So which way is tightening?
Whatever way I'm doing it now. And once again, I'm probably going beyond torque, but this has kind of abandoned that because I'm having to look at gap. And there's still gaps, so I've got to tighten it more.
Yeah.
That's, this is not how you should do it. You should be just tightening it to spec. But when you have high mileage and worn parts, sometimes spec doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, because you do have to properly care for your vehicles. That is a thing. Cars aren't just add gas and go. There's maintenance that's required on them every so often.
I still got too much play.
Like checking these linkages, bars, and things, especially if you do a lot of off-roading things.
Yeah,
Or-
this was, I know from paperwork I found in it, it was used on a livestock farm for at least the last few years, like last 10 years. There we go, it's moving with, everything's moving with the bar. That's what I want.
Alrighty.
That's what I was looking for. It's all moving together.
Okay.
So that's going to be tight enough.
Alrighty.
And it won't spin. It's tight. And that's done.
Now, were you going to test it out?
Not much to test. Just see how it drives tomorrow.
Okay.
Because I get crash course doing this now because I have to use it tomorrow for work, even with the rotten tires. They're not horrible. I've driven on a lot worse tires.
So why do you say these tires are rotten?
If you notice, not only are they chewed up, which is gravel, these front ones aren't near as bad. If you look at the back ones, they're actually got a lot of cracks, and there's actually a spot where the entire tread has fallen off in a spot. So you can see there's still belt underneath it. I don't know. We're filming, so of course it'll be down.
Yeah, see, this is getting kind of thin there. Is it supposed to be that thin?
Yeah, and no. That's part of why I got it so cheap. Parking brakes need repaired, tires need replaced. There we go, right there.
Okay, yeah, that's not supposed to be that way. I know that much.
Yeah, and this is stuff that happens when tires start getting old. I've had them, this one's not showing cracks as near as bad as some of them, but I've had a tire that it was old, it was dry rotted, and I was doing a long trip in it. I didn't have much choice, it was my spare, and it threw the tread, took the fender off of the Wrangler. because it threw the tray going down the interstate.
I've also been following somebody in a trailer before who was towing a trailer, and they were throwing pieces of tire at me in the trailer.
The old nylon military tire came apart. It was not tested for highway speeds. Well,
how old was that tire you attacked us with?
I don't know. I hadn't owned the trailer for a couple months, but I'm guessing since it was military tire and it was military surplus in the 70s, it's probably from the 70s. And that was in 2009?
Yeah, a couple 20...
2008?
Yeah, a couple 20, 30, 8 years.
Well, it was the trailer was made in 53, so the tire can't be older than 1953. Well, it could be 52, but... Okay.
All right, so what else we got to do today?
The other thing I've got, I'm going to change the oil on it, because it needs it.
All right.
Which I guess there's not really much to watch on that.
Okay. Yeah.
And
10 minute oil change.
Everything else is taken. I'm not doing the headlights today.
Alrighty. Well, if you like this content, please like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more cool stuff and some other crazy stuff coming to the Stunt Zombie Productions YouTube channel.
Oh yeah.
And
even some crazy stuff that's projects that have been done. I have a maglev van I replaced yesterday. I didn't even think to film it. And it was fan going bad. I'm trying to figure out how a maglev lift fan goes bad because it's just electric magnet driven. So I kept the parts. I'm going to play with it a little bit and see if you can't fix it or see what it does when it does go bad.
Okay. So I will be sure to call 911, have the hospital on standby for that little project.
You just need to keep a fire extinguisher.
Yeah, that too. As I said, like, share.
You have to make sure it's not been used.
Yes. Like, share, and subscribe. Share with your friends. If you did not enjoy this and you watched this far, thank you, and share it with the enemies. After all, why should you suffer alone?
And if you want souvenirs.
Thanks. Y'all have a good